Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Big Book of Brave currently going on over at Sacred Feather Soul Journaling, and I just cannot be more happier with how my Big Book of Brave is turning. Big Book of Brave, so far we have Surrendered. I love looking through my book. We have Lead a Life in Common and Glorious. Our prompt for week 4 is imagine. And this is what I have so far. And I thought I would just go through and show you how I go about getting this page started, where my thoughts are. And then in this video, I'm going to show you how I like to use nature scenes in my work. And I think we'll also do some texture paste on this one as well. So this is my book. So I also wanted to point this out. So this Big Book of Brave, I'm actually using a composition book. This composition book is full of my morning pages that I wrote, oh gosh, I want to say maybe like 8-9 years ago. These are all morning pages. Julie Cameron's Artist's Way, I was really into that. And I still love that book, by the way. It's a classic. And morning pages. There's also just some like to-dos in here. There's just, I kind of use this notebook for everything. And a lot of my morning pages and a lot of this composition book was from a really hard time in my life. And so as I was reading through some of these things, they're just really ugly, awful things that were happening and going on in my life. And I was writing them out, pouring my heart out. And I decided that I wanted to take this composition book and cover up these words that brought me so much pain and sorrow to write down, but I had to get them out and turn them into something just beautiful. Because this book is reminding me how brave I actually am by covering these things up and then transforming this book into something that is going to be my brave outline, my brave guidebook for the rest of my life. And so I'm really excited. All right, so let's get into imagine. A lot of my images that I'm using today, friends, is from my Big Book of Brave cut and paste book, which is available on my website, sacredfeathersouljournaling.com. It's $10. You're going to receive a PDF, and you'll just download those sheets and you'll print them off. You do not have to purchase that to be a part of Big Book of Brave. It's just something that I wanted to make for myself because I knew I wanted to have lots of different images that I couldn't find anywhere else. So I made them. And anyway, so it is available just for $10. Imagine is the topic this week. And when I thought about that word, as I was thinking up prompts for this Big Book of Brave, you know, just so many things were going through my mind. And for me, when I was in the thick of all my stuff, I would imagine leading this just normal, regular, simple life. I would just literally spend hours and hours a day thinking about imagining what it would be like just to live a normal day, because I felt like I wasn't living a normal day. I felt like every day was some big giant hardship, and I would just pray and pray for normalcy and imagine what that looked like. I was also imagining other people's lives. You know, I would look at someone and think, oh my gosh, I imagine their life is just so much better than mine. And in reality, friends, we all go through stuff, right? And we all have hardships. And when I think back about that time now, and I think about the word imagine, it conjures up so many awesome, beautiful things, because I know that I am a strong warrior, brave woman. And while I've gone through so many hard things, it has just helped propel me forward in my life. So this imagine is going to be an amazing page, and I'm excited to do it. So the first thing I did, I of course painted my background. I used gesso on the back here, and then I just took some really bright, beautiful colors. You can still see the words, you know, peeking through, and I am okay with that. I kind of like that look. A lot of this I'm actually going to end up covering up, but I do like to start out with color on my page. I decided that I wanted to use a landscape picture for this, and I really love the Southwest. It's one of my favorite places to go. I first started going to Arizona about 10 years ago, and I just fell in love with all of it. I love Utah. I just love it out there. And so I'm really into landscape books right now, using them in my journals. So I had found this image of, I'm calling her a cowgirl because she has a really cool hat on. She's got her cowboy boots on. Love her dress. And she just looks like a warrior, right? She just looks like she's ready to go. She doesn't look like she's afraid of anything. And I decided that I wanted to use this entire page in my journal. And I want to put this woman there who is representing me. I wanted to put her there. And you know, this picture for me represents, you know, there's this big open valley, and it just kind of reminds me of all the deep stuff that I was in. And then it looks like she is kind of almost just stepping out of the low parts of this valley and onto the higher parts. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now in my Brave journey, stepping up into my highest self. And so as I was going through my Big Book of Brave cut and paste book, I was going through, of course, I want to use Imagine, which is our theme for the week. But I was going through, I've got lots of quotes in the book. And so I was going through, I found a quote I really liked. It is not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit. I like the phrase brave living, and living and loving my life. And so those are just things that I have out just to kind of to look and see what I think about and if I want to use them eventually. I also cut out a bunch of stars that are available in the Big Book of Brave, and I know I definitely want to use stars on this page. Stars are one of my go-to symbols. Feathers are another one of my go-to symbols, and I had purchased this pack of feathers at the Dollar Tree, and gold is a theme that I want to use here for my color. I want to use texture paste on this page. So if you've never used texture paste before, you can get it. It's all over, you know, in mixed media stores and things. Like Ranger Ink sells texture paste. You can get it at like Dick Blick. You can get the fancy brand. It's going to cost you quite a bit. I just go to my Walmart store, and it's the Daler Rowney brand. And it just comes in a tube, and it's texture paste. And for me, it works great. I think I paid, I don't know, $5 to $7 for this maybe, and I've had it forever, and it will last a very long time. It is just a very thick paste. You'll be able to kind of see as it looks like toothpaste or something. I know that I want to keep the star theme going, so I have one of my very favorite stencils out. It's an oldie but a goodie. Not sure where I got this, but I use it a lot. And then I'm just going to use one of these palette knives that I got at Walmart. Super cheap. I have several of these, and you can use them for paint, gesso, texture paste, all of it. So how you would do this is, obviously I've got the little stars or the big stars. I might do kind of a mixture of both. When you use texture paste, obviously it's going to make it like a 3D effect on your page. So obviously I have a lot of different quotes and things that I wanted to use on this page. So I may not put them over the entire page. I'm thinking just about putting some in a corner. So I think I actually will start out with the smaller ones. So this is how I like to do it. I like to put a lot on my palette knife, and then I'm just going to put it up here. And that's going to go through the stencil. Okay, so I put a few up there. I'm thinking, do I want to add any more? Do I want to add any to my page over here? I don't think so. I think I might just add a few more, maybe some larger ones, maybe. The key to using texture paste with a stencil and having it not smear on you is when you pull it off, you definitely just want to lift straight up. And so I might, the one got a little off, I may add a little bit more to it. If you make a mistake before it dries, you can definitely just wipe it off your page. Oh, much better. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to let that dry. It does take a little while for the texture paste to dry, and then I will be adding paint or ink or something to these stars to make them really pop out.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper that you. Sycamore tree, dream a little dreamer. Night breezes seem to whisper that you. Dream a little dream of me. Now, darling, but I love you. Still craving your kiss. Dream a little dreamer. Night breezes seem to whisper that you.
Suggestion that Saturday night, sensational double thrill stock car spectacular at 7:30 at Norwood.
Dream a little dream of me.
So I ended up using this pen, which is an awesome pen. It's called Uniball Air. And I just made, it's a pretty subtle, you know, box around my quote, my intention, my prayer. And this just kind of grounds that image for me. I had contemplated whether or not to use a neon pink in the Posca pen. I was going to do some outlining and maybe even outline this heart, but I decided against that. I think how I'm going to finish this off is I have these feathers I had showed you earlier. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. You get 12 of them, and I have bought multiple packages of these because I use feathers a lot in my work, and I love them. You get them in silver or gold, and I am thinking, I thought about adding silver because of, There's a little bit of silver over here, but I may do the gold, and I like that. I think I'm going to add that right there. There's already adhesive on the back. I think I'm going to add that, and then, because the main thing is when you do a double spread, you want to pull in different elements from the page, so that way they all just kind of flow together. And oh yeah, that was exactly what it needed. I was also contemplating on this page to finish it, maybe doing some marks with a gold Sharpie, but I really think I'm going to keep it like that. I do notice I have one star here that I didn't paint blue. So I think I'll paint that blue and call this good.